All right, all right, all right. Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. And I hope everyone is doing really well on this Sunday evening, February the 25th, 2024. Peace in, peace in. So, wow. Okay, the Sacramento Kings, you know where I'm here, and this is how it went down in crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California. Sacramento Kings on the road win 123-107 over the Clippers. Okay. Now, a good win. That's their third straight. All right. They move up in the standings. Okay. They started off the day in eighth place. Now they move up, they jump up to fifth because there were some losses by some key other teams that happened before they played themselves. So they go from eighth to fifth in the Western Conference uh, standings. So today, if the playoffs started, they would be in fifth position and they would have to worry about the play-in. So they pretty much understand that how important that these games are going forward. Okay, and after the break, you don't won two straight. Okay, and if we blend it over to before the All-Star break, that game that you won in Denver, you have three straight, and you have Miami at home, who are going to be missing some key players as well due to some suspension. Jimmy Butler will not be playing in that game tomorrow at Golden One Center. You can extend this. And you can stay pace, keep up pace, as Keegan Murray mentioned in one of the practice earlier this week, keep up pace in the Western Conference, because that's what it's going to take. All right. You either fall, you either lose a game, you drop two or three spots, you win a game, you can move up two or three spots. But that's basically the area right now that they can only make those moves in, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Or you could drop down to 9 and 10, which is currently owned by the Lakers and the Warriors, respectively. But yeah, it's crazy in the West. Of course, I'm going to talk about the game. And I did mention that, the Kings started off the day in eighth place and moved up to fifth spot. But when I look at it, well, let me start here. Okay, the Timberwolves, 40-17, first place. Oklahoma City, 40-17, second place. The Nuggets, 39-19, third place. The Clippers, who just lost tonight, 37-19. They're holding down the fourth spot. And then the Kings at 33-23. On down from there, the Suns, who were in fifth place for a couple hours until the Kings won this game, they jumped up from eight. What did they jump up? I'm sorry. The Kings started off the day in seventh place in the NBA Western Conference. The Suns started off in the eighth spot when this day started. Okay, they won the day. They jumped up to fifth. 2 hours later, the Kings win. They moved ahead of the Suns into fifth place. So the Suns are right behind the Kings. So let me correct myself. The Kings started off the day in the seventh spot in the NBA Western Conference. My bad. Okay. And behind the Suns are the Pelicans, the Mavericks, and as I said before, the Lakers, and then the Warriors. Now, what's interesting about this standing right now, as you can see, they're all mumbo jumbo together. Okay. It's really tight. It's a really tight race. And I was paying attention to the radio show hosted by Scott Marsh and Henry, the High Flyer Turner. And I think it was Scott who had mentioned that when the day started, the Kings had won were 5-5. So they were 5-5 in their last 10 games. But the other teams were 500 and better with their records. Well, now that has seemed to increased a little bit more. Okay, because all 10 of these teams that I'm talking about in the last 10 games that they have played 500 or better ball. Okay. And it ranged from 6-4 right up until 8-2. That's how crazy the NBA Western Conference is. Okay. I'm looking at 10 teams that are 500 and better in their last 10 games. So I want to credit, Scott Marsh with that bit of information, because That's basically the science. I'm not only going to call it the science. That's just basically the competition that we're dealing with on the West Coast in the Western Conference right now. And me personally, I love it. Okay, I love it, especially for somebody like the Kings, because if you want to show us who you want to be, okay, where you want to be at, and where you want to go, now is the time. Now is the time. Okay, you have 26 more games after this. Okay, you can reach 50 games. All right, and the way it's looking in the NBA Western Conference, okay, there's going to be at least 50, there's going to be at least 3 to 4 teams, tops, that's going to have 50 or better win records. 50 wins or better win records. Okay? I'm going to say at the top 4, no more than 3, but definitely the 4. That's just how tight it is. Okay? Paul George did not play in this game tonight. Okay? So if you sit out a player, one of your top players, he's definitely a key player, he's an all-star for the Clippers, things like this will happen, and it will happen to you at home. Because the Kings pretty much handled them throughout the game. Okay, I think they were only down by maybe 4 or 5 points at the most in the first half. But then they extended the lead. I think they were up to, I think they got their biggest lead in the game was about 17 points, maybe 18 points. Okay, somewhere around that. So the King understood where they were as far as winning this game and positioning themselves. They're jockeying for a position, folks. Okay, this is a little bit above the Kentucky Derby right now. They are jockeying for position. So when you have an opportunity to go in there and win a game in LA, you take advantage of that. Because I think now the Clippers are 20-7 in Crypto.com arena at home, playing home games. So they notched up another loss tonight thanks to the Sacramento Kings. But yes, it is wow. Okay. 10 teams right now, play-in or playoffs in the Western Conference, 1 through 10, have 500 or better records in their last 10 games, including the Kings, who are 6-4. Okay. Once again, Sacramento Kings beat the Clippers 123-107. Very impressive win. Second game after the All-Star break. Of course, they beat the San Antonio Spurs 127-122 at Golden One Center. They return home. They will have a match with the Miami Heat. They go back on the road on the 28th, where they have another match with the Denver Nuggets. So the Denver Nuggets get to see them again. I think it's the last of those the 4-game series. Matter of fact, Kings are up 3-0 on the Denver Nuggets. So if there are any playoff implications that would involve these two teams, okay, home court event, whatever, okay, the Kings will have the upper hand based on their win-loss record. And they are 3-0. They have not lost to the Denver Nuggets this season. Wow. Okay. Oh, boy. That was a really good, entertaining game. Okay. And I think one of the most significant things that I heard towards the end of the game was must have been a lot of Kings fans in Crypto.com arena tonight. Because they was hollering, like that beam, like that beam, like that beam. Okay? Loud and clear. Like that beam. Yes. And before I go into this too, Kings played some pretty good defense in that game. I mean, they came up with some military formations that, I mean, they were producing blocks, steals, deflection, traps, okay, double teams, whatever they could roll out on the defense. I think they pretty much got that. I think if they play with a little bit more consistency, going forward, okay, you got this. You got this. Because I did listen to a little bit of De'Aaron Fox, who had a great game tonight. Played really, really, really well tonight. He credited the defense. and with the defense that jumpstart the offense. That's what you want. That's what you want. And that's what you're going to need in the NBA Western Conference. Okay? Defense. Towards the game, I mean, well, hey, look. It was 51-58 at halftime, Sacramento Kings. Okay, so they opened up the third quarter. Kevin Huerter, who looked refreshed and reformed out there. Okay. I think he had 6 points in the first half. So he comes out and he hit a couple threes, back-to-back threes. Okay. De'Aaron Fox, he gets a steal. He gets a steal and then turn that into 2 points. So they're up 66-51. Then the run ended with Domantas Sabonis, 68-51. Sacramento Kings. That was all started by your guy, Kevin Huerter. Okay? Whatever's going on with him right now, because he did mention this games ago when he was struggling. Okay? His confidence was going to emerge. It was going to come back. You know it's going to come back, quote unquote, Kevin Huerter. You know it's going to come back. It will come back. And it did come back. Okay? He's been shooting extremely well in these last few games from the three-point territory. That was the guy that got things started. Now, moving forward, okay, the Clippers did come back. They closed the game within, they got within 5 points of the King. It was 101-96 in the fourth quarter. Terrence Mann hit a couple free throws, and that made the Clippers were trailing 101-64. But the Kings went on like a 16-4 run after that. Okay, and let's see, through that carnage, Harrison Barnes got a 3. Okay, Davion Mitchell had hit a 3. Okay, Harrison Barnes come back and hit a 3, and then it was up 116-100. So that was capped off a 16-4 run. By then, it's getting pretty much late in the game. They pretty much got this. Of course, De'Aaron Fox, he was the closer. He was definitely the closer towards the end. He hit a couple free throws. Oh, man, I think he was 9 for 10 for free throws. We'll get to that right now. He had a steal. Then he converted that into a basket, and that made it 120-105. So the game was pretty much over. A lot of that was done with defense, but I do want to credit Kevin Huerter for getting him started off in that third quarter. All right. He hadn't been playing around. I mean, no trades to be thinking about. Okay. No benchings to be thinking about. Just play your game, go out and do what you're supposed to do, and help your team win. And that's exactly what you did tonight, Kevin Huerter. So I have to give you big ups for that. Okay. Moving along here. So the Kings are now 33-23 on the season. They are 17-14 on the road. So they're over 500 in every way. And the good part about it, they are now, there are 10 games. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 33-23. You're 10 for the first time this season. You're 10 games over 500. Looking good. And 17-14 on the road. Looking really, really well. really spiffy there. I'm liking those. And they have won the last 2 games, and they have won the last 3 games. Okay, 2 games since the All-Star break, as I mentioned before. I always got to repeat myself just to make sure everybody understand, okay? Because the last time they had lost to the Clippers, 131-117, that was on November 29th. And then they lost again, 119-99. That was December 22nd on the road in crypto.com arena. Well, that's great. That is great. So let me give you a little bit of the stats that went down tonight. De'Aaron Fox, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 32 minutes. And 32 minutes. So he had 33 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. Okay, he Ooh, what did he do here? He was 12 for 22 shooting from the floor. Okay, he didn't hit any three-point shots, but he was 9 for 10 from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. 9 for 10. And he had 3 steals. So let's talk about that. Okay. Domantas Sabonis, 39th straight double-double, and he did it in the form of a triple-double. A triple-double. So he has 39 straight double-double, a franchise record. Okay, that's going to be hard for anybody to beat right now. Okay, he had 17 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 steals himself. So between him and Fox, they had 6 steals. That's great. Okay, he was 17 for 7 shooting from the floor. He missed his one and only shot from three-point territory. He was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. He's been shooting free throws pretty good. If you look at the whole scheme of things with the team struggling with the free throws, he's been doing his part. You know, he's been leading by example for sure. Now think about that 17 for 7 shooting from the floor, from the field goal. He was 2 for 10, 2 for 9, 2 for 10, I believe. Okay, his first 10 shots. And then he finished making 5 of his next 7 shots. He got it together. Looking good. HB, Harrison Barnes, 22 points. 22 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Okay. But he was 8 for 12 shooting from the field, from the floor. Okay. He made 4 of 7 shots from three-point territory. And he was 2 for 3 at the free throw line. And he did this in 35 minutes. Harrison playing like he should be playing. Okay, all we need you to do, I'm just go with my buddy Kenny Caraway. Do something, and he's been doing a lot lately. Because they need Harrison Barnes if they're going to win, to make this push all the way to the playoffs. Deep runs into the playoffs. I can talk about that in a minute now. Kevin Huerter, as I mentioned before, he had 15 points. 3 rebounds, 2 assists in 24 minutes. Shot 60% from the floor. He made 6 of 10 shots from the floor. 3 of 6 for three-point territory. He didn't go to the free throw line. Didn't need him. Okay. Those 2 threes that he got started, got the Kings started in the third quarter, to start the third quarter. Okay. That was all needed. And then he hit another 3, later in that frame and stuff, and that helped out well too. Malik Monk only had 2 points in the first half, but he finished with 12 points. He had 2 rebounds, 5 assists in 27 minutes, but he was making some things happen as far as his playmaking and stuff. 4 for 11, shooting from the floor. 2 for 6 free throw, 3-pointers, and 2 for 2. Made both his free throws. Now Keegan Murray loved this game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal in 37 minutes. He was 3 for 7 to three-point territory. He didn't go to the free throw. He had 1 block too. Shooting wasn't all that great, but when you got Kawhi Leonard out there, I think Kawhi only had like 2 or 3 points in that fourth quarter. Last I counted, he finished with 20 points. So yeah, he had 18 points up into the first 3 quarters, but he only hit he couldn't have hit no more than 2 points in that fourth quarter for sure. So that was a big help out. And I think the defense on him was really well. Not saying, I think Keegan was part of that, but still Keegan still had a good game, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block. He was more effective on the defensive end. I like that. Davion Mitchell, he hit a couple threes. Finished with 6 points in 18 minutes. So the Kings were 49 for 91, shooting from the field at 49%, 15 to 37, 40% in three-point territory, and 18 of 22 free throws, 81%. And De'Aaron Fox made 9 to 10 of his freebies. All right. The Kings had 14 offensive rebounds, too. I do want to talk about that. And they had 10 turnovers total. Okay, so they kept that down to a minimum, too. And that's what's going to be needed, too. I know that, before the All-Star break, they were having some issues, ball handling issues. But Look like that's been corrected now, overcorrected. I mean, it's been corrected. Okay, but hey, light the beam, just the way you want to win, and let those Clippers know we're here. Norman Powell, oh boy, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He started in the place of Paul George. Basically, he made five 3-pointers in 37 minutes. 8 for 17 shooting from the field, but he made some crazy shots, especially from 3-point territory. Oh my, he could still shoot. I mean, he was doing that up in Toronto anyway. Kawhi Leonard, I mentioned before, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 3 assists, 3 steals. He had 3 steals. 3 assists and 4 steals, 35 minutes. And I'm sure he only made like 2 points in that fourth quarter. He usually gives the Kings problems. He's been averaging like 29, 30 points a game. I had to go back and check on that in those first 2 games. James Harden, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. He made all his free throws. He made 10 free throws on charity stripe. So he still do what he does as far as, getting to the line and making his free throws. But it was all done in a losing manner tonight. Ivica Zubac looked like he was doing a lot of damage to me, but when it comes to Domantas Sabonis, I don't care if these guys are bigger than him. He pretty knows how to play these bigger fellas. I think like the first contest that they had, Zubac had the upper hand on him in that game, but you're not going to have too many games like that against Domantas Sabonis. Right now, he's smoking. He's smoking. He got a triple-double on Zubac. Okay, Zubac finished with 16 points, 6 rebounds. I thought he had more rebounds than that, but maybe every time I looked around, he was getting a rebound, and those accounted for 6 rebounds. He did all of this in 39 minutes. He had 4 assists. Russell Westbrook came off the bench, 8 points, 4 rebounds in 18 minutes. Had a steal, a couple of assists. And Daniel, man, why I can't pronounce this guy's name? Anyway, he had 8 points and 6 rebounds. It just slipping now. Got to get better with that. Anyway, he had 8 points and 6 rebounds too. Okay. And the Clippers shot 48% from the floor, 40 of 82. They were 8 for 27 from 3-point land. Okay. They made only 8 shots out of 27 attempts, which is good. That's only for 27% because the Kings have been getting up crazy threes at a high rate, at a high percentage. Not tonight, though. They were 19 for 20 on the free throw line, and we can credit James Harden for it, putting them in that area, making 10 out of 10. Daniel Thies, I think that is how you pronounce his name. Okay, Daniel Thies. 8 points and 6 rebounds. Okay, no Paul George for him. Didn't matter. Could have been worse with Paul George out there. Kings were clicking tonight. Team ball. Kings basketball tonight. Looked really, really good. So now we have to move on for the start of tomorrow's game, which starts at 7 p.m. Go to One Center, the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler will not be playing. There was a little fracas that went on with Miami and the Pelicans. I think that was Friday night. He got ejected from that game, and then it came down that he will be out, I believe, for the 3 games. So he'll be serving his first suspension tomorrow against the Kings. And we know how scary these games are when these teams come into Sacramento and they play them at home and they're short personnel. Kings don't really do well. So at this point, great win tonight, Kings. But I don't trust you. I really don't trust you. I'm just going to sit here and watch 48 minutes of that game tonight, and then we'll just go from there. Okay? We will just go from there. Because, see, I think in the East, Miami was in the 10th spot anyway. So when you see things like that and people want to come in and prove who they are, help their team out, maybe move up the standings, move up the chart a little bit. That is one of those type of games. Okay. Call it a trap game, whatever. All right. I don't trust you. I appreciate the win tonight. I do. I appreciate seeing that. I appreciate the effort. Team ball. But now let's see what you're going to do with the Heat missing one of their best players. Because these are the games that you cave in. So I'll just go from there and we'll give you that. Okay, well, I'm not going to keep you all. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button. Please subscribe. I need as many subs as I can possibly get. I'm getting close to 500 anyway. I want to get up around 1,000, going into next season, or as early as possible. But please, thank you for tuning in. Listen to my digital commentary. And if I didn't say at the beginning of the show, okay, this was another episode of On the Cutting Room Floor presented by Publicity Agents. I'm the host, Tony Harvey, and I will be back probably not tonight, but when they play Denver on the 28th. I believe that is. Yeah. So the next time you will see me is after the Denver Nuggets game. But I really do appreciate you tuning in and checking out this episode. The Kings had a great win tonight, so let's see what they can do against the Miami Heat at Golden One Center. Like the beam. Peace, love, and solidarity. I'm out.